All right, today we've got a tale of two disruptors, two completely different ways of thinking about how to change the world. One is about building a massive restaurant empire, like overnight, and the other is about shooting people through giant tubes at the speed of a jet plane. It's pretty wild. Let's get into it. It all kicks off with this one number, 300. Now, what if I told you that's not a goal, that's not a target for a year? That's how many restaurants someone opened in one single day. I mean, to wrap your head around that number, think about McDonald's. It took them 6 years to get to their first 300 locations. 6 years. And the YouTube superstar MrBeast, he did it in a day. So the question is just, how? How is that even possible? Well, the answer is pretty incredible, and it all comes from a revolutionary business model that just blew up during the 2020 pandemic. You got to remember, this was a time when the restaurant industry was getting absolutely hammered, losing over $240 billion. But, sometimes it's those moments of crisis that force people to get really, really creative. And the secret sauce here? It's something called a virtual restaurant, or what a lot of people call a ghost kitchen. Now, the genius of this isn't about building anything new, not at all. It's about tapping into this huge resource that was just sitting there, completely wasted. Thousands of professional restaurant kitchens that were empty because of the lockdowns. Okay, so how does this whole playbook actually work? Let's break it down. There's a company that has basically perfected this model. They're called Virtual Dining Concepts, or VDC for short. And their strategy is, well, it's just brilliant in its simplicity. So first up, they find regular restaurants that already exist, places that have kitchens with some extra capacity. Then VDC comes in and gives them basically a business in a box. They provide the celebrity branding, the menus, even the ingredients. Then the celebrity, like MrBeast, blasts it out to their millions of fans. And for the final piece of the puzzle, they just use the apps we already have, like DoorDash, to handle all the deliveries. The restaurant owner, they just have to cook the food. That's it. They get a piece of the action with pretty much zero risk or investment. And listen, MrBeast is not a one-off. This model is absolutely exploding. You've got Mariah Carey's Cookies, you've got DJ Khaled's Another Wing, which, get this, launched on 3 continents at the same time. It's become this proven formula for getting a brand global instantly. So really, this is the key takeaway. As one of the big players in this space said, this whole model is about one thing: scaling with insane speed for very, very little cash. You're not building a single thing. You're just plugging into a network that's already there. Okay, so this model of using what's already there works great for food. But what about something bigger, like way bigger? What about something like transportation? Now I want to switch gears and look at a totally different, much grander vision for disruption, one that takes the complete opposite approach. Yeah, instead of repurposing what already exists, this vision is all about building something brand new, from the ground up. We're talking about the Hyperloop. The idea was to create a brand new, a fifth mode of transportation. So this was first really laid out in a paper by Elon Musk way back in 2013. And the concept is, it is straight out of a sci-fi movie. We're talking about passenger pods being fired through these giant sealed low-pressure tubes at speeds faster than a commercial airplane. But here's the thing. To make that dream a reality, you have to build everything from scratch. We're talking thousands of miles of these special tubes, totally new stations, complex magnetic levitation systems. The engineering challenge is just staggering. So this is where it gets really interesting. We have these two totally different paths, right? The ghost kitchen and the Hyperloop. Let's look at where they've actually ended up. The Hyperloop journey, it started with so much hype back in 2013. And look, they did some amazing things. They hit some incredible technical milestones. A test pod went almost 300 miles an hour. They even had the first ever human trial. But then, in 2023, one of the biggest, most well-funded companies in the space, Hyperloop One, just shut its doors completely. And a huge reason for that? The absolutely insane cost. So Musk's original paper guessed that a route from LA to San Francisco would cost around $6 billion. But pretty quickly, critics started saying, no way. Building a brand new system like this from scratch, it's going to be more like $100 billion. That is a massive, massive gap between the dream and the reality of the price tag. And this just perfectly sums up the difference, doesn't it? The ghost kitchen model works because it's low cost, it's profitable, and it's super clever about using what's already there.
The Hyperloop, on the other hand, is this massive, high-cost moonshot that's stuck with the unbelievably hard job of literally building a new world.
So all of this brings up a classic question, right? Why didn't a giant like McDonald's come up with the ghost kitchen idea? Or why didn't a big established train company pioneer something like the Hyperloop? I mean, they had all the money, all the know-how, all the resources.
Well, there's this great concept called corporate antibodies. Think about it. Big, successful companies are like these perfectly tuned machines, optimized to do one thing really, really well. So when a totally new, weird idea comes along, their whole system, it just instinctively attacks it and rejects it. It's like a foreign body. It just doesn't fit.
So when you boil it all down, these two stories really show us two clear paths for disruption. On one hand, you've got the quick, clever insurgents, like the ghost kitchen, that just repurposes the world we already have. And on the other, you have the bold, capital-intensive moonshots, like the Hyperloop, that tries to build a brand new world from scratch. One path gives you that immediate, explosive growth. The other is aiming for something much bigger, much more profound, but with way, way more risk. And it leaves you with this really fascinating question to think about. What other industries out there have these huge, overlooked assets just waiting for their own ghost kitchen moment?